Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on another episode of This is Colorado. I'm Stephanie and this is Mike.
Oakley dokley, neighbors.
We're here for Season 1, Episode 4. In this episode we are talking about golf in Colorado. This is Mike's passion. He loves everything about golf, he knows a ton, and I know diddly squat. We have some background history on the game's progression. We also have over 100 courses for you to check out here in Colorado and a bit about the Colorado Open as well.
Interestingly enough, the biggest loot is going to be at the 2016 Colorado Open. The 2016 Colorado Open will be the biggest purse in the tournament's history, boasting a $250,000 purse for the tournament. The championship will also feature the biggest first place prize at $100,000. The Colorado Open is an amateur-only event from July 21st through the 24th at Green Valley Ranch Golf Club in Denver.
Jimmy Gunn, the 2015 Colorado Open champion, said the money may persuade him to defend his title. This change in purse and first place money will make me think long and hard about taking a week off from the Web.com tour to defend my title, he said in the release. For more info on that, check the Denver Post link in the show notes.
Talk about a little bit funner side of golf. We did some research and we're looking at history of golf in the entire world. And these are some of the dates that I found particularly interesting through golf's timeline. 100 BC, early forms of golf trace back to the Roman game of paginica, in which participants used a bent stick to hit a stuffed leather ball.
In 1457, Scottish Parliament passed several acts banning the practice of the game, along with football, or as we Americans call it, soccer, because the two sports were interfering with archery practice, which was necessary for national defense. So this is a government banning a game. The first act was passed in 1457 by James II, King of Scotland, and it was reaffirmed in 1471 and 1491.
In 1729, the first known reference is made to golf in the U.S., with clubs being recorded in the estate of William Burnett, the governor of Massachusetts. In 1764, the old course at St. Andrews is reduced from 22 holes to 18 holes. This became the reconsigned format for the game around the world from the home of golf.
In 1916, the PGA of America is formed, and the U.S. PGA Championship is played for the first time in Sewanoi Country Club in New York. 1921, the Ryder Cup is played for the first time between the men's professionals of Great Britain and the USA at Gleneagles. It's won by Great Britain.
In 2016, golf will be played at the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro for the first time in 112 years.
Woohoo! Now, I'm ignorant when it comes to golf, so this episode has been a learning experience for me. For example, I didn't know there was more than one format to golf. They are...
First one I'm going to talk about is scramble format. So this is a team format where every player tees off from the number one tee box, and the team decides what tee shot is the best shot, and then everyone on the team gets to play from that spot. That goes through the entire course. So every shot, every hole, every putt, you get to pick the best out of all four shots every single time.
Simply the best.
Yep.
Right on. Number 2 is called Best Ball. So this is similar. The format can be played as 2-player teams or 4-player teams. It basically can be handicapped too. So 2-man teams, each player plays the entire hole, and whichever golfer has the lowest score on the hole is the score the team marks on the scorecard. Same goes for 4 players too. If you add a handicap into this format, the scores can get pretty low.
Stroke play, this is basically one-player golf. Every golfer records the score as they played. This is the format that the majority of the PGA events are played in.
Match play is a bit of a funner format. Stroke play is basically the golfer versus par, where match play is golfer versus golfer. So whoever takes the low score for the hole goes up on the other player by 1. If the same score is recorded for both golfers on the hole, it's halved. Basically a tie and no one gets a full point. Each golfer gets a half point for that hole. It makes it more of a competition. We checked out what the web had to say about all of this, and at Colorado.com we found 96 listed courses, but we think the list is a bit short, as Mike thought of courses that are not on the list that he's played. Some of those are...
Coal Creek in Louisville. It was damaged by the floods a couple years back, and it's been completely redone, and I think last year was our first year back open.
Nice.
Been wanting to get it out there. Legacy Ridge in Westminster, always nice, tough, challenging. Lake Arbor is where my birthday tournament is going to be this year for the 10th year in a row, April 30th. Arrowhead is just beautiful, and that's in Littleton or Inglewood. Westwoods in West Arvada. They have a 3 9-hole course, so you can guarantee you might not play the exact same setup every time. Red Hawk Ridge, awesome scenery. Those are the courses that I played that are not on the list. In addition, there are also several driving ranges that are awesome. We want to check out Estes Park Golf Course, according to Westward. Set in a valley filled with elk and bordered by Rocky Mountain National Park, it will inspire you to hit the ball harder and farther, and with the altitude, it will almost make golf a sport as well. The 18-hole course and driving range are only open from April to October and include a pro shop, a restaurant, a gift shop. It's not Pebble Beach, and you'll be happy about that. This last bit makes me want to check it out. The scenery, the wildlife, the golf. Sounds excellent.
So in learning all about golf on this episode, I came up with a couple questions, being a newbie at this. So, Mike, how do you know if a course is public or private?
Google's that shit. Most of the courses in Colorado are public, but always double check before you go.
Can you rent golf equipment?
In my experience, the majority of all golf courses do rent clubs, both right-handed and left-handed, women and men, adults and juniors. The prices vary per course, usually under $50. That does not include shoes, though.
Are there other driving ranges that are not attached to a course?
There are some driving ranges that are not part of a specific course. For example, Aqua Golf, Top Golf, and Swingers are all viable options.
Viable. Top Golf. Top Golf is a standalone driving range facility that is 5 stories high. All of the balls have RFID tag in them, so the players can play games like closest to the pin. Each bay is set up similar to a bowling alley with nice couches and outdoor heaters. Located on Arapahoe Road, 1 to 2 miles east of I-25. That sounds like a commercial, I know.
Yeah, right.
To me, this just looked like a really cool place to be, and I'm actually excited to go check it out soon.
Aqua Golf is another standalone facility located off Santa Fe near I-25. The facility is 2 stories and uses special waterproof golf balls so the golfer can hit directly into the lake. There are targets set up through the lake at all distances. They are open 9 p.m. starting after Labor Day.
Swingers is an indoor facility that has multiple simulators for when the weather is not okay to golf in. You can use your own clubs. You have to make a tee time to play and reserve a bay up for up to 6 people. They also serve food and drinks. So, Mike, in Colorado, how should we prepare for tee time?
Rain pants are always a good thing, especially here in Colorado. You never can tell what the weather will do on the course. Same principle as a condom. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Oh, I would suppose so.
A windbreaker is also a good thing to keep in your bag. Sunscreen is also good. Just because you're out having fun in the sun is no reason to get skin cancer.
There's no good reason to get skin cancer.
No, not at all.
No.
Always wear sunscreen, especially in Colorado. We are at much higher altitude than any other state, and the sun reaches our skin a lot faster and a lot stronger. I personally keep rain pants, windbreaker, sunscreen, and an umbrella in my bag.
Good to know, good to know. Did you know that senior golf is a thing? Because I didn't know. There are some people in this world that are not aware that seniors play golf, and I would be one of them because I just never really thought about it. So, when in fact they do play and probably play more golf than most of the young guys. Why is that?
The way I see it is that I'm spending all this time practicing and playing so I have something to do when I retire, which is most likely why there are so many retirees that spend a lot of time at the course.
When you get to be a certain age, there are some things you cannot do the older you get. For example, rock climbing, skiing, snowboarding, team sports, tennis, all of those other things we do here. But golf is one sport that you can pretty much play if you can walk a few feet at a time and swing at a little white ball and walk back to the cart.
It's a great sport for those who have physical limitations for the following reasons. If you get a special handicap flag from the clubhouse, you are usually able to pull the cart right up to the greens and tee boxes, whereas average Joe playing can only get within 30 yards of the greens and must stay on the cart path by the tee boxes. The physical part of basic golf swing can be therapeutic or a rehab, if you will. The repetitive motions are good for working all of your muscles without putting a huge strain on any particular part of your body.
On to weird golf rules. Any golfer knows the basic rules of golf as far as hitting it out of bounds or in the water. There's so many more rules to golf that the majority of the casual players do not know. Here are just a couple of the rules.
I used to be guilty of this one because I used to think it was an actual stroke, and then I learned that it wasn't. So if while taking a practice swing, you accidentally hit your ball in the process, you are allowed to replace your ball as close to where it originally lied. This is because you had not properly addressed the ball and had no intent of making your swing, therefore it is not considered a stroke.
Not a stroke. Noted. Number 2, if playing in a scramble team format, if a player hits into a bunker and that is the best shot from the foursome, or twosome I guess, you have to stay in the bunker to play the next shot. You cannot get relief from a bunker if that is the best shot. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. 3. When playing in rainy and wet conditions, there is a pick, clean, and place rule that allows you a couple things. You can pick your ball up and mark the exact spot. After picking up your ball, you are allowed to clean it off, especially if it is a mud ball. You can then place it within one club length from the original spot, as long as you are no closer to the hole. This is a common rule while playing in the rain. Remember, this rule is only in effect if you are in the fairway. The rough does not count. The reasoning behind this rule is that if you are in the fairway, you should not be penalized for hitting a good shot. The fairway is much shorter grass and softer than the rough. The ball can plug in its mark, thus creating a horrible lie from an otherwise good shot. This is Colorado.net, helping you create a day to remember.
We are always interested in what you, the listeners, have to say. If you'd like to share your experiences, adventures, destinations, unique Colorado eats, or people causing positive change who are passionate about what they do, tell us more at thisiscolorado.net or leave us a message at 720-733-1231 and we might feature it on an upcoming episode.
When you do what you've always done, you'll get what you always got.
If you found value in this episode, do us a favor and tell a friend. Completing our listener survey is a great way to give us feedback.
All of our links from this episode are in the show notes or at thisiscolorado.net. From one Coloradan to the next, this is Mike and Steph saying, keep it colorful, Colorado.